a genius physicist turned criminal mastermind, a billion-dollar empire built in the shadows of the dark web. Ross Ulbricht, the man behind Silk Road, created a marketplace where you could buy anything, drugs, weapons, and more at the click of a button. But how did the mastermind known as Dread Pirate Roberts get caught? And what shocking mistakes brought his empire crashing down? This is the untold story of Silk Road and the man who thought he was untouchable. Stay tuned, you won't believe how it all unraveled. On October 1st, 2013, federal law enforcement agents entered a public library in San Francisco and apprehended a 29-year-old named Ross Ulbricht. Ulbricht was identified as the operator of the most elaborate and expansive online marketplace for prohibited substances in history. The platform, named Silk Road, drew inspiration from the historical trade routes connecting China and Europe that emerged during the 2nd century BC. However, Ulbricht's vision was a modern-day digital market specializing in illicit drugs and unlawful goods. During its lifespan of nearly 3 years, Silk Road reportedly facilitated transactions amounting to $214 million, with payments conducted through Bitcoin for anonymity. The platform was hidden within the dark web, a segment of the internet accessible only with specialized tools. An FBI-discovered journal on Ulbricht's laptop revealed his goal of creating a completely untraceable market where users could anonymously acquire anything. However, his digital tracks ultimately led authorities to dismantle his operation. Ross Ulbricht was born on March 17, 1984, in Austin, Texas. A high achiever from an early age, he attained the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America, following in his father's footsteps. His childhood was marked by a laid-back demeanor and academic excellence, culminating in an impressive SAT score of 1,460, which placed him in the 96th percentile. He earned a full scholarship to study physics at the University of Texas at Austin and later pursued a master's degree in material science and engineering at Penn State University, also on a full scholarship. While at Penn State, Ulbricht embraced libertarianism, a political ideology advocating minimal government interference and maximal individual freedom. He admired economist Ludwig von Mises, whose writings opposed governmental control over markets. These beliefs significantly influenced Ulbricht's decision to launch Silk Road in January 2011. Accessing Silk Road required the use of Tor, a software initially developed by the U.S. Navy to facilitate anonymous communication online. Tor allowed users to conceal their IP addresses, rendering them nearly untraceable. The Silk Road's web address consisted of random alphanumeric characters ending in .onion, signifying its dark web origin. Ulbricht, self-taught in coding, created the site and sought additional technical assistance via Bitcoin forums. Using his personal email, rossulbricht@gmail.com, for recruitment, he unwittingly left a digital breadcrumb that later incriminated him. Ulbricht also enlisted the help of Richard Bates, a former college acquaintance, to refine the platform's coding. In private, he shared his plans with his girlfriend, Julia V., even showing her psychedelic mushrooms he cultivated as an initial product for the site. Over time, Silk Road expanded its offerings to include cannabis, heroin, LSD, and other substances. Ulbricht's libertarian beliefs rationalized these activities, as he viewed individual drug consumption as a personal choice free from government regulation. Despite his convictions, Ulbricht decided to exclude firearms from the site after briefly allowing them, fearing they would attract unwanted controversy. To grow Silk Road's user base, he promoted it on niche forums, posting under the alias Altoid. His strategy included seeding discussions about the site on platforms like the Shroomery and Bitcoin forums, which quickly drew the attention of users eager for anonymous transactions. Silk Road's transactions operated like a digital marketplace with seller ratings akin to Amazon reviews. Drugs were discreetly shipped through the mail, often hidden in CD cases or cardboard packaging with professionally printed labels. Ironically, the labels heightened scrutiny from law enforcement. In mid-2011, Homeland Security agent Jared Duryagin intercepted a package containing a single pink ecstasy pill at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. The discovery led to the unmasking of an entire supply chain, with packages flowing in from regions like the Netherlands, a known hub for narcotics. Duryagin's investigation led him to a Gawker article by journalist Adrian Chun, published in June 2011, that spotlighted Silk Road. The article drew millions of views, thrusting Silk Road into the public eye and prompting calls for action from politicians like Senator Chuck Schumer. Federal authorities began to view Silk Road not only as a drug marketplace but also as a potential tool for terrorism, where harmful materials could be acquired to threaten national security. Ulbricht faced pressure from those closest to him. His former coding assistant, Richard Bates, and his girlfriend, Julia V., expressed concerns and encouraged him to abandon the project. The strain of maintaining secrecy ultimately led to his breakup with Julia. To assuage their worries, Ulbricht falsely claimed to have sold the business, though he remained in control. Seeking a fresh start, he relocated temporarily to Australia to live with his sister in Sydney. Around this period, a mysterious figure known only as Variety Jones reached out to Ulbricht through Silk Road. This enigmatic individual soon became Ulbricht's closest confidant and someone he referred to as a mentor. Neither of them knew the other's true identity, but their collaboration significantly shaped the platform's future. Variety Jones highlighted critical vulnerabilities in Silk Road security, prompting Ulbricht to encrypt all files on his computer. Ulbricht even installed an unalive switch on his laptop, designed to shut the system down instantly by pressing a specific key, in case of a sudden law enforcement raid. He also devised a contingency plan that included destroying his laptop and hard drive and using Craigslist to find a cash-only rental under a new identity. Variety Jones also proposed the now infamous pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts for Ulbricht, inspired by the legendary captains in The Princess Bride, who passed the name to their successors. Ulbricht intended to emulate this concept, envisioning a day when the identity of Dread Pirate Roberts would be handed to someone else to continue the legacy. Variety Jones expanded Ulbricht's vision for Silk Road, helping him recognize its massive potential. In personal writings later revealed in court, Ulbricht expressed his ambition. Silk Road is going to become a phenomenon, and at least one person will tell me about it, unaware that I was its creator. Within just 2 years, Silk Road had amassed a user base exceeding 100,000 and generated nearly $214 million in transactions, earning Ulbricht approximately $13.2 million in commissions, according to prosecutors. Despite this staggering growth, law enforcement remained baffled about the identity of Dread Pirate Roberts. The question of who controlled Silk Road became a competitive mystery among various government agencies. To gain insight into Silk Road's operations, Homeland Security agent Jared Duriagin posed as a buyer, conducting 52 undercover purchases and intercepting thousands of packages. He linked sales back to their origins and apprehended several individuals. One significant breakthrough came when Duriagin identified a Silk Road forum moderator using the alias Cirrus. After forcing her to surrender her account, Duriagin assumed her identity, using it to communicate directly with Dread Pirate Roberts and gather critical intelligence. Meanwhile, the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, was conducting its own investigation, led by Agent Carl Force, who operated under the alias Knob. Posing as a Dominican drug dealer, Force cultivated a seemingly friendly relationship with Dread Pirate Roberts. However, Force's motives were not entirely professional. He manipulated Ulbricht into paying him $50,000 in Bitcoin for supposed insider information from a government contact. Instead of reporting the payment, Force funneled the funds into his personal account. Shockingly, Force wasn't the only corrupt official involved. Secret Service agent Sean Bridges, also part of the Baltimore Task Force, exploited his position by using admin access from a Silk Road employee, Curtis Clark Green, to steal 20,000 Bitcoin from user accounts. Bridges' actions led Dread Pirate Roberts to suspect Green of the theft, prompting him to consider retaliation. Egged on by Variety Jones, Ulbricht initially planned to have Green beaten but later escalated his request to execution, paying Knob $80,000 in Bitcoin for the hit. However, this so-called assassination turned out to be a ruse orchestrated by Force, who staged Green's life-taking using photos and props, including Campbell's soup to mimic blood. Though no actual life-taking occurred, Silk Road became a target for blackmailers and extortionists, further complicating its operations. The quest to unmask Dread Pirate Roberts intensified, and the FBI's cybercrime team in New York joined the effort. Agent Chris Tarbell focused on identifying a critical error that could lead to the Silk Road mastermind. By May 2013, investigators discovered vulnerabilities in the website's code, exposing its IP addresses and revealing that Silk Road servers were located in Iceland. Although Ulbricht's defense team later suggested the NSA might have illegally assisted the FBI, Icelandic authorities provided the FBI with data from the servers, uncovering extensive transaction records and user activity. The FBI's findings revealed that the Silk Road's central server was named Frosty and that its administrator frequently logged in with an encryption key associated with this name. Additionally, the team traced connections to a San Francisco cafe where Dread Pirate Roberts accessed the server via a VPN. This narrowed their search to the Bay Area, but the mastermind's true identity remained elusive. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source: IRS investigator Gary Alford, who was tasked with following the financial trail. Alford reasoned that Silk Road's creator would have promoted the site before its public exposure. His search led him to forum posts predating the infamous Gawker article, where a user named Altoid mentioned Silk Road. One post by Altoid included an email address, rosselbricht@gmail.com. Further investigation revealed that the same user had posted on Stack Overflow with a query related to Tor, later changing their username from Altoid to Frosty. Though Alford initially didn't grasp the significance of the name Frosty, his discovery provided law enforcement with the critical connection needed to identify Ross Ulbricht as the man behind Dread Pirate Roberts. During this time, Ross Ulbricht was contacted by an individual operating under the alias Variety Jones. This figure soon became Ulbricht's most trusted advisor, someone he considered a mentor. Despite their close collaboration, neither of them knew the other's true identity. Variety Jones played a crucial role in strengthening Silk Road security, pointing out glaring vulnerabilities. Acting on his advice, Ulbricht encrypted all his computer files and added an unalive switch to his laptop. This feature allowed him to shut down the device instantly if law enforcement attempted a sudden raid. He also devised a detailed escape plan that involved destroying his hardware and adopting a new identity while paying cash for accommodations found through Craigslist. To his roommates, he was simply Joshua Terry, a Texan working in IT, fresh back from Australia. Variety Jones also proposed the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, inspired by the iconic character from The Princess Bride. The name symbolized a legacy passed from one captain to another, which aligned with Ulbricht's vision of eventually handing over Silk Road to a successor. Ulbricht later confided in his journal that he dreamed of Silk Road becoming a global phenomenon. By mid-2013, the site had grown to accommodate over 100,000 users, generating $214 million in sales and millions in commissions for Ulbricht, according to prosecutors. The turning point came in July 2013, when U.S. Customs and Border Protection intercepted 9 counterfeit IDs sent from Canada. Homeland Security agents traced the package to Ulbricht's San Francisco address at 2260 15th Avenue, a sublet he paid for in cash. When confronted, Ulbricht appeared visibly nervous but denied purchasing the IDs, which he had planned to use for renting additional servers to expand Silk Road. Interestingly, during the encounter, he casually mentioned that it was hypothetically possible to buy anything on a site called Silk Road. The agents, unaware of the larger investigation, documented their findings, which later solidified the case against him. IRS investigator Gary Alford connected the dots by linking the alias Altoid to Ulbricht. Alford discovered that the same username had posted a query on Stack Overflow before being changed to Frosty, a significant clue since Frosty was also the name of the main Silk Road server. Meanwhile, the FBI monitored Ulbricht's activity through his Google account, noticing a suspicious pattern. Whenever Dread Pirate Roberts logged in or out of Silk Road, Ulbricht's Google account mirrored the same activity. To capture definitive proof, the FBI devised a plan to arrest Ulbricht while his laptop was unlocked and logged into Silk Road. On October 1, 2013, agents tracked him to the science fiction section of the Glen Park branch of the San Francisco Public Library. Undercover Homeland Security agent Jared Deryegian, posing as a Silk Road employee, messaged Dread Pirate Roberts, engaging him in conversation about flagged messages on the site. As Ulbricht accessed the admin panel, a staged altercation between undercover agents nearby created a diversion. In the moment Ulbricht turned to look, another agent seized his laptop while others apprehended him. Ulbricht's arrest shocked his family and friends, who struggled to reconcile the Ross they knew with the mastermind of a global drug marketplace. Indicted on 7 charges, including narcotics distribution and operating a criminal enterprise, Ulbricht pleaded not guilty. His trial began on January 13, 2015, and lasted 3 weeks. His defense argued that Ulbricht had relinquished control of Silk Road to another individual long before the investigation. However, the evidence presented by prosecutors, including journal entries and server data, convinced the jury. On February 5, 2015, Ulbricht was convicted on all counts. In a letter to the judge before sentencing, Ulbricht pleaded for mercy, asking for a chance to grow old outside prison. Despite his appeal, Judge Catherine B. Forrest sentenced him to life imprisonment without parole, stating that his actions had significantly harmed society. She rejected the notion that his education or background afforded him leniency, emphasizing the destructive impact of Silk Road. Ulbricht's mentor, Variety Jones, was later identified as Roger Thomas Clark, a Canadian who was arrested in Thailand in 2015 and pled guilty in 2020 to conspiring to distribute narcotics. Additionally, the investigation exposed corruption among federal agents. Former DEA agent Carl Force was sentenced to 6.5 years for extortion and other crimes, while ex-Secret Service agent Sean Bridges received multiple sentences totaling 8 years for stealing Bitcoin during the Silk Road investigation. Ross Ulbricht's story is a chilling reminder of how ambition and ideology can collide with the law in a digital age. What started as a libertarian dream ended in a life sentence and a global reckoning on internet anonymity. Do you think the punishment fit the crime? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more gripping stories. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.